Right now at 5, an investigation is underway after an apparent attack at a West Salem Quick Trip.
And more testimonies from Adam Fravel's murder trial.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. An investigation is underway after a reported throat slashing at a West Salem convenience store last night. According to police, just before 8 o'clock, officers responded to a Quick Trip location on Jefferson Street for a report of a man whose throat had been cut. The victim was taken to the hospital and later released. Police say the suspect fled in a red semi-truck with a trailer. Investigators believe both men were truck drivers with no connection to each other or the area. Anyone with information should contact Detective Sergeant Ganrud at the number on your screen.
Adam Fravel's murder trial wraps its 4th day today. A Fillmore County investigator and the property owner where Madeline Kingsbury's body was found have taken the stand. Investigator Don Dornick found Kingsbury's body June of 2023 on 198th Street near Choice, Minnesota. The property owner says he paid Fravel's father to mow the grass there. Dornick said the sound of flies led him to find Kingsbury under a pile of logs and vegetation in a nearby ditch. The state presented several images from the crime scene and surrounding areas. Fravel's attorneys argue that law enforcement should have found Kingsbury while searching the area in April of 23.
A Wisconsin man is federally indicted in connection with an international sex trafficking and prostitution ring involving a former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO. 71-year-old James Jacobson of Rice Lake is one of 3 people arrested today. The others being former Abercrombie CEO Mike Jeffries and his partner Matthew Smith. According to the indictment, the trio allegedly lured men from across the globe to perform sex acts for the promise of modeling opportunities. Jacobson allegedly served as a middleman who recruited the men. He's due in federal court in St. Paul.
One person is dead after a crash Monday in Jackson County. According to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, a car rear-ended a large grain truck on State Highway 108, pinning the driver and passenger inside. The driver was pronounced dead on the scene. The passenger was airlifted to the hospital. Names are withheld at this time, and the crash is under investigation.
Yeah, we had cooler conditions, but still mild overall and mostly dry with some cloud cover this morning. Maybe a few areas had a few showers earlier today south of La Crosse. We are going to see a front going to come through, but for the evening hours right now, we're still looking okay for both locations. It should stay dry, still very mild out there, getting back down to the 60s with increasing cloud cover as we go throughout the evening for La Crosse. More clouds as we go throughout the night, but it will remain dry with 63 degrees. That front will be coming through. Eau Claire, a little bit of different story. They might see more clouds as we get closer to 8 or 9 with the shower chance starting to increase a little bit, especially as you get towards 10 p.m. That front will be coming through and the winds will be turning around. But all in all, most of the evening activity should be dry. The front is still well to the north. You see precipitation just barely starting to reach Minneapolis area. Still fairly dry system. Upper 60s, low 70s ahead of it, so very pleasant conditions. If we kind of track out the showers, you can see just barely a few of them get close to Eau Claire as we get closer to 9 to 10. We'll see how far south that line extends, but for most areas south of that, probably will be a dry night, but the winds are going to turn around. So the breeze is going to pick up northwest winds after midnight as the front comes through. So that'll be one thing you'll notice in the morning is some gusty northwest winds and cooler temperatures, but overall should stay dry once we get towards the morning commute. And ball is back. We're going to see a little bit of rebound back and forth with temperatures, but we're not going to see the 80s anymore. So we'll break down what the temperatures look like. And more importantly, we do have a good chance of rain coming up here in the forecast. And I'll break that down a bit later too.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, Wisconsin early voting is now underway. Unlike Election Day, where you must vote at your assigned precinct, early voters can cast their ballot at any designated location within the city. For La Crosse, for example, there are 5 polling locations. If you didn't make it today, 3 additional polling locations open tomorrow. Early voting continues in La Crosse through Friday, November 1st. Be sure to have your photo ID with you on hand.
And in Eau Claire, a drive-through voting center is open at City Hall from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The site also offers voter registration. Drivers should enter from Wisconsin Street off Farewell Street. Dewey Street will be down to one-way during drive-through voting hours.
Republicans and Democrats are urging Wisconsinites to embrace early voting statewide. Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden met with supporters across the street from Sparta's City Hall today. He and fellow congressmen encouraged them to vote early. An Indiana congressman told them friends don't let friends vote alone, and that the 3rd District voters should do whatever it takes to send Van Orden back to Congress. The former Navy SEAL Van Orden says most voters may not have served in the military, but voting is their chance to serve.
Now is your chance to serve your country. Now is your chance to get in the breach. You must do it.
Van Orden added, if you don't vote, you don't get to have a gripe, so make a plan and get your vote in.
Former President Barack Obama is in the Badger State today, campaigning with vice presidential hopeful Tim Walz, looking to gain support for Kamala Harris. The pair are in Madison, encouraging Democratic voters to hit the polls early in the battleground state, where Biden won by only about 20,000 votes back in 2020.
If you haven't voted yet, I won't be offended if you just walk out right now. Go vote. This thing's close. We're still the underdogs in this, and we know we're going to leave it all on the field. Wisconsin, you got same-day voter registration, and it's open today.
After the stop in Madison, Walz is headed to Racine, where he's expected to take the stage around 6:45.
Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin is meeting with cranberry growers in Jackson County today as her People Power campaign tour continues. The senator visiting a Black River Falls Marsh and Research facility. While talking with local growers about farming issues, Baldwin emphasized the importance of these community visits.
You know, when you show up, you listen, you hear concerns and challenges, and then you go back to Washington and fight like hell to bring solutions. I think people notice that, and I think it goes above partisanship.
Now, Republican Congressman Van Orden visited the same farm and research facility less than a week ago.
Budget requests.
The UW system president reviews budget plans for UW La Crosse. Right after this.
Did you know the Habitat Restore sells more than used furniture, fine tools, lumber, decor, and more at the Restore. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come shop at the Habitat Restore in La Crosse.
We all know what Eric Hovde's trying to do, falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. And Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything. But Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
As a working mom, I'm feeling the pain of inflation. Everything costs more these days because of Biden and Kamala's wasteful spending. And while we pay more, they're giving away our hard-earned money to illegal immigrants. Tammy Baldwin is just as bad. Baldwin voted to give amnesty and taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. She even gave them government stimulus checks and free health care. We can't afford Tammy Baldwin and her handouts to illegal immigrants.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Did you know the Habitat Restore sells more than used furniture, fine tools, lumber, decor, and more at the Restore. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come shop at the Habitat Restore in La Crosse.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman discussed the impacts of the 2024-25 budget request at UWL today.
One of the main focuses for this year's budget request is the completion of UWL's Prairie Springs Science Building. Phase 2 of the Prairie Springs Science Center project has been on hold since 2021. Rothman says with nearly 40% of UWL graduates moving into STEM or healthcare fields, the construction of the new Science Center is essential.
Prairie Springs is #1 in terms of our major capital projects. I remain very hopeful that Prairie Springs can be done. It's necessary, it's important to UW La Crosse, but it's important to the state as a whole.
The budget request also hopes to increase middle-class family access to Wisconsin's Tuition Promise program and bring an AI hub into the UW system.
A day of giving.
The Dahl YMCA is raising money for lacrosse organizations within 36 hours.
Our average temperature should be in the 50s. We're going to see that tomorrow, but I'll break down how long we'll stay in the 50s and what the precipitation chances look like throughout the rest of the week coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
The lawyer you choose makes a difference because you get this one chance to get this right, and you want somebody that's going to fight for you and get you the resolution that you need. I'm so glad that I called BGR.
Hurry in and update your home's exterior now at Menards. Cedar Creek Vinyl Siding is do-it-yourself friendly and low maintenance. It's ready to install and available in 16 color options. Get an 11% rebate and all Cedar Creek Vinyl Siding. Complement your home with a new garage door. Menards has the largest selection of in-stock and custom-designed garage doors. This 9x7 garage door is only $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today. $2,500 hiring bonus.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
This illegal immigrant was recently arrested in southwestern Wisconsin for a sexually violent attack on a woman, a suspected Venezuelan gang member who entered the U.S. just last year. Unfortunately, Steve Doyle supports sanctuary cities that protect criminals like this, and Doyle opposed sending resources to secure the border to keep dangerous criminals like Alejandro Jose Coronel Zarate away from our families. Steve Doyle's failures are destroying Wisconsin lives. Steve Doyle, unwilling to secure the border, unfit to serve.
When I called other lawyers, I wasn't even sure who was going to be representing me. Once I called BGR and talked to Brian, I felt secure immediately. I'm so glad that I called Bygoff and Rohde.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
The La Crosse Dahl Family YMCA is hosting its 3rd annual Y Giving Day.
The 36-hour event will raise funds for 10 different programs in the La Crosse community. Last year, the YMCA raised almost $200,000, beating their initial goal of $140,000. This year, they hope to reach that $200,000 mark again. Cancer survivorship, veterans' mental health, and food access programs are some of the projects included in this year's Giving Day.
Our projects cover all of our social responsibility areas within the Y, so you can really find an interest for yourself of what to support on this day.
And you can find more info about the projects involved in this year's fundraiser on the Y's website. We'll of course have that link on our digital platforms.
Well, we started the morning a little overcast today, a little cool, but I went outside for my jog and it got warm very quickly.
It did feel like summer by that point.
I did. I definitely regretted wearing long sleeves on my run yesterday or today, Greg. More of that in the works.
Well, tomorrow definitely is going to feel more like it should be. We had overcast conditions because of the system here. You can see that came through this morning. Actually, some areas, South La Crosse, Prairie du Chien, to Decorah had maybe like 100th or 200ths of little light rain that came through. Most areas up to the north did not see it, just cloud cover. We've cleared out, but now we have the next system coming. This is the front that's going to be really ushering in the cooler air. It's up to the northwest, kind of approaching Minneapolis right now. That's going to come through tonight. Give us a little bit of rain potentially for some areas, but definitely will feel the cooler temperatures for tomorrow along with the gusty northwest winds for tomorrow morning, but that's about really it. We're going to see it. But as you time it out, really it's just a few showers developing along a line, and really the struggle is to get them further south than about Eau Claire as they come through between about 8 to 11. And you can see just a little bit of shower activity. I think most areas to the south all the way down will just see cloud cover, and everyone's going to see the winds turning around to the northwest and get somewhat breezy overnight. You'll notice that going up in tomorrow morning. As you wake up, maybe a little bit of a shower up to north with this northwest flow, but otherwise it's going to be gusty winds, decreasing cloud cover for tomorrow morning. That means the sun will be out Wednesday tomorrow, but it won't really make much difference with the temperatures. We're looking at mid to upper 50s to the south, low to mid 50s to the north. This is actually where we should be pretty much for this time of year. So it'll feel much cooler, but it's seasonable with that wind kind of decreasing in the afternoon. Now Thursday, we kind of turn the winds around. So we got another system that'll be approaching, so we're going to climb those temperatures back above average. So back in the 60s, very pleasant conditions, mid to upper 60s for Thursday. Cloud cover will start increasing. Winds will also increase in the afternoon, and that could indicate more of a fire threat once again because the relative humidity is going to be quite low. As we track out that system for Thursday, really we're going to see a line of showers and potentially maybe even a thunderstorm come through Thursday evening, and it's really be about after about 7 p.m. You can see a line come right there, begin to enter the area, potentially after about 8 to 9 p.m. So evening commute wise should be probably fine. It'll be there afterwards. We'll see that line come through pretty much throughout the night. By the time we get to 11 or 12, it's going to push east, and then we'll probably pretty much clearing those skies out for Friday morning. Precipitation-wise, we're going to get something with this. I think a lot of areas will see something. It's just a little bit how much right now given that. The other issue going on with it is the humidity in front of it. Before it gets here, we're going to see relative humidity in the afternoon drop well into the 30s, potentially upper 20s. So if you combine that with the winds that'll be out of the south at about 10 to 15 and probably gusty at times too, the fire threat gets a little bit more of a concern Thursday. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Right now, DNR lists a lot of areas at high or very high because of the dry vegetation out there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. The good news is the rain does come in, but it's not going to be a lot for most areas. We're looking at maybe potentially a quarter to maybe a half. And right now there's a lot of question marks for southwest Wisconsin. If we can get that other system to pull north, we might get upwards to 3/4 of an inch. Everywhere someone should see something is just between about quarter and a half. And we could take what we could. It's not really going to be a drought buster by any means, but definitely we'll keep an eye on that. You can see area wide, not much else precipitation. So that's what we're looking at for Thursday. If you're looking at the weekend, then it looks like we're going to get back up into the 60s, so very pleasant conditions for the weekend. And then we have another system coming next week, and look at that, we might actually get back to 70 Sunday and Monday prior to that system coming through that could impact Halloween if it sticks around. A lot more question marks on that. But once again, it's going to feel a lot cooler tomorrow, 50s, but that's where we should be. And then hopefully we do get a good amount of rain coming Thursday evening. We could use a lot more since we're about 3.5 inches below what we should be.
And that's quite significant.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a very dry and warm fall so far.
All right.
Fingers crossed for that then.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Craig. A new way to say goodbye.
A New Zealand airport is creating a designated spot for those to depart with their loved ones. The details after the break.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, ghosts, goblins, and goosebumps. We're chatting with a professional storyteller about a spine-chilling event that's sure to get you in the Halloween spirit.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling.
But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
It's Ford SUV season in the Northland. Time for great offers across the entire lineup, including Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Get ready for the coming season with weather-ready features that make life easier, like heated seating, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Amazing offers on your favorite Ford SUVs. This is Ford SUV season. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months or up to $7,000 customer cash on a 2024 Ford Expedition. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for every body, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Pack your bags, but leave the PDA at home.
That's right. A New Zealand airport has put a time limit on those long goodbyes in the drop-off zone. Travelers have just 3 minutes to wrap it up with their loved ones and then move it along. Airport officials say the cuddle cap is about reducing congestion, and they're trying to keep a sense of humor about it.
We don't have hug police, not yet anyway, and if people overextend their hugging time, that's okay, but really the message here is just getting it front of mind for people to kind of help create space for others to drop off and also have their hugs.
They add 3 minutes is actually quite a long hug. Passengers who need a little extra time can move over to the parking lot where they can hug it out for 15 minutes before a parking fee kicks in.
Well, this policy is a lot like my weather tosses. Awkward. Very awkward.
Nice little self-deprecation on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I like in the drop-off zone where cars are trying to get in. I totally get that. And when I initially saw the story, I thought it was going to be for like people in the terminal.
Yeah.
And like that's never been an issue.
No.
But if you're standing outside a car,
drop-off zone, yeah, it does make sense to okay, let's wrap it up, moving along, and all that. But yeah, interesting policy. I wonder if you get fined if you don't obey by the rules.
Or they're just like bouncers at each entrance to the terminal. They're like, all right.
Move it along.
That's enough.
Oh my gosh, that'd be wild to see, actually. Yeah. All right, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast after the break.
When you see Stacey Klein, think 1849. She supports the 1849 law that would ban abortion. No exceptions for rape, incest, or to save the mother. Don't let Klein take us back to 1849.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies for you and your field companions to make your trip successful. Right now, get a free $10 Blaine's Farm and Fleet gift card when you buy select bags of Purina Pro Plan dog food, featuring advanced formulas to support your dog's unique performance needs and taste preferences. So gear up and save on Purina Pro Plan dog food.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubdy supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
When you see Stacey Klein, think 1849. She supports the 1849 law that would ban abortion. No exceptions for rape, incest, or to save the mother. Don't let Klein take us back to 1849.
All right, tomorrow definitely will feel more like Halloween, really. We'll be back in the 50s, breezy in the morning. You'll definitely feel that northwest wind. Still some sun in the afternoon. The next best chance of rain that we're really looking forward is Thursday night. Otherwise, Friday looks good, the weekend okay. And then next week, we might actually get 70 before we have a bunch of rain chances coming in about the middle of the week. So
yeah, look at these graphics, though.
I know,
Very
you're putting in a lot of work there. It looks
Special
fantastic.
effects, I love it.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 6.